Hi, my people. Welcome back to my channel. I'm home today. Well, I just going to be sitting here, just chit chat for a quick minute, and I'll share with you some thoughts I have about me moving back to Jamaica. Even though it's not been that long since I've been here, but I still feel that I have some thoughts and opinions of what my experience is like since I have been here. But before I go any further, guys, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, and don't forget to put in that notification bell. Um, that's whenever I uploaded something, then you will get you'll be notified. Um, so I know I'm not here for that long and I may not have a lot to say, but I think that I have experienced enough for the first few months that I've been here that I can really share what I've experienced. Moving back to Jamaica wasn't just a change of address for me. It changed the way I hopefully want to see my life and, the direction that I want to go. Um, and So I live in United States for a number of years, and I still don't want to say how long I lived there for because people, I just don't want to get into all of that details right now. But I've been living there for a very, 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 very long time. And maybe you could guess and assume, maybe leave a comment that would be very nice, and I see who gets it right. All right. So a lot of time when people move back, say they're moving back home, I'm moving back to Jamaica, right? It sounds excited because I was very excited about that. One, the sunshine, the food, culture. I'm going to come back to culture in a few minutes. Familiarity, and I also have to come back to that as well. And all of that is there, but what people don't talk about is the internal adjustment that one has to make, or the internal adjustment that really happens. And that's where I'm right now. I'm still struggling to adjust internally and emotionally, which I know is going to take a time. But before I go on to that, I did make mention that I'm going to talk about the culture aspect of it. I don't know. From what I'm seeing so far in terms of the culture, I realize there's a shift in the culture, the way people carry themselves, the way they behave, based on what I have seen so far. I know I'm still fairly new also, and I've not yet traveled across the country to experience that much. But from the little experience that I've had in terms of the culture, I would say that it's kind of shocking and surprising to me. For example, I'm not driving right now. I don't own a vehicle, even though I have access to a vehicle that I could use to drive, but I refuse to drive at this moment. One, because the roads here are not like the roads overseas, and the people, many of the drivers here don't they drive very, I would call it reckless, especially when it comes to the they call them the road taxi or the cabs, right? They call them the road taxi or the cab. So the road taxis, those people drive reckless. When I said reckless, reckless. You'll be in the cab and you're just praying to get out to go home. For example, I'm going to give you maybe about two examples that for me I can't understand for the life of it. For example, if you're to come to where I live at, it's just a straight stretch of road, and this road is really fairly good, in fairly good condition. Not many potholes on that street whatsoever. So those guys, they drive like really. Let me say it this way, because I'm seeing my reflection of light in my glasses. So those guys, I'm trying to sit properly, so I don't have that light, and I don't want to take out my glasses because I need to see. So those guys drive really crazy, man. Um, Yeah, I was giving an example. Now, you will have a stretch of cars or vehicle, whether it is some big truck. Um, and based on where I live at, there is um, the Jamalco, which you have like is a big um, backside company, and there's an electrical company there as well. So you always have those big trucks on the road. Plus, to go, I think the sugar factories is I think people drive this in the same direction to go to the sugar factory. So you have a lot of big trucks on the road, and those drivers, those taxi drivers, they drive as if they're the only person on the road. Now you will have a line of traffic, right, going that direction, and this guy can only see around, and they will overtake not one, not two, not three, sometimes four, five, six cars all at once, right? And then the traffic is this type. So you can imagine if a car or a vehicle is coming the opposite direction and decided not to give them a blind, then you can imagine what would have happened. Or if the line of traffic someone in that line don't ease up and give them the opportunity to come back in, then people's life are in danger. And they, when I said they're doing this like 120 miles per hour. Because, I know because I look at the meter, because I'm looking to see how fast they're really going. And the other thing that is really troubling to me is that I find that they don't, when it comes to the school zone, you thought they would have slowed down and so let it go 15 or 20 miles or 10 miles an hour. That's not the case. They still drove in the school zone 100 miles per hour. Imagine that. A child is coming, and then maybe, you remember, this is school zone. You're dealing with kids that do silly things or stupid things. They could run out in the street, and if you're going at 100 miles per hour, there's no way you're going to be able to stop in time to save that child's life, right? So that's one of the things for me that I find very, very, very troubling and disturbing. Why they drive that fast, I do not know. So, so that's one thing. The other thing, as I think it was on culture. I don't know how I get to the old driving thing, but anyway, the culture thing as well is shocking to me. What I meant by that is that I realize that people are not, maybe because they're friendly, people are still friendly. Um, but one thing I found out is that you say good morning, for example, when I left, before I moved, migrate to America, you're in a vehicle and you say good morning to everyone, people really answer you. People say good morning back. Um, I would go into the, what do you call it, the road taxis, and I'm going to say good morning. Barely anyone answers you. And I'm like, wow. To me, that was very surprising. And why it is so surprising for me, because I am not in the city, and normally people in the rural areas is always courteous and quick to respond. The cities is where you find people don't respond to you. So for me, that was very, very shocking that you say good morning and people really don't respond. Well, let's not talk about customer service. That's the other thing that is a whole different topic. Um, Honestly, that is non-existent here. Um, People, you know, I don't want to say everyone is that, because sometimes you get some nice customer, get some nice people that are very, courteous. I went to a restaurant, everyone think it was nice. Um, but then again, you go to some other place and, it's not the best. And I think that's maybe a problem, an issue with a lot of places. So I'm not going to just say that is only Jamaica, but hopefully we can improve when it comes to our customer service. Actually, so one, I did move back. I came with a plan. I came with a business plan. I come with um, life plan, ministry's plan. When ministry, I want to do something completely different from the Jamaican church culture here. Not really, not straight from the scripture, from the teaching of the word, but in terms of how we minister and approach people, how in terms of yeah, in terms of how we approach people and how we do weaknesses, So that's something that I have in mind, and I still wanted to do. And since I'm on that as well, I have not yet found a church that I want to connect it to, and I'm struggling to find a church. Not because there's no church here, and I guess because I'm coming from over, you know, certain structure from guess because I'm was living overseas, and there's even before and let me not even say it has nothing to do with me coming from overseas. Before I left, before I migrated to the United States, the Lord had always placed something in my heart in terms of how I approach people and minister to the lost and to the broken. And when I went overseas, I find churches that have the similar vision that the Lord had put in my heart long before I migrated. I came back here, and I'm sure there are churches here that are doing similar thing in terms of how they connect with people and how they reach to the lost and the broken. But because I'm in the country, in the rural area, I I think I'm finding a hard time to find that environment that I can connect and grow and serve. So I'm still looking for that place that I could connect, grow, and serve. Hopefully, I'll find one soon. All right. So on that, let me see what else I have written down here. Yeah, I'm the same person when I leave, and the country, Jamaica isn't the same. Maybe in certain things, but Jamaica has grown a lot. There's a lot of changes. Some of them good, and some of them is not that great. Because and I could point out a few stuff that is not great. For example, if you need to get things done, the process can be very hard and frustrating. For example, and I know I talk about this once on my TikTok. When I first came here, I wanted to open a bank account, and I was told that I need to get a JP, the Justice of the Peace. In America they call him Notary Public. Get a Justice of the Peace to sign my documents, right? Even though I'm not gonna let me not say that. All right. So my cousin told me about a Justice of the Peace, and then I went and have a conversation. Went to him, and he looked at me and said, "Well, he's not supposed to sign those documents because he doesn't really know me." And I find it a little bit alarming, because I was saying to myself, so wait, it means that if I don't know a JP, I cannot get anything done. Um, and then I'm going to have a problem, because no, I can't open the bank account because I don't know a JP, or I can't do this because I do not know a Justice of the Peace. And a Justice of the Peace is not going to sign my document unless they know me. So that did not make sense to me. I did get it signed eventually because my cousin knows him very well. So because of my cousin, that's why I was able to sign the document. But he did not know me per se. It's because my cousin know him very, very well. They have been friends for years. And to me, that doesn't really make sense, because now you're signing my document based on someone else's that you know. So I think that's something that they need to fix, because when you have someone that might live overseas for 40 or 30 or 50 years, and they come back to Jamaica, need to get some things done, They are not going to get anything done because they do not know anyone that is a JP or just of the peace. So that in itself is not making any sense. I firmly believe that a justice of the peace should not be a character reference. They should never use a JP for a character reference when you could use so many other people for that. The JP should be just the person that just signed the relevant documents that needs to be signed so you could get things done. You could go to a pastor, you could go to a professor, um, somebody, of good standing in your community and ask that person to be a character reference. But asking a justice of the peace to be a character reference to me is overstress, right? Now they ask you for your ID. Now the other day I went to send off a document to Express. They want my TRN, they want my ID. Now I didn't have the piece of paper that I get the TRN on. They couldn't take the TRN, but then I have my ID with me. And I have my passport. But they would not send the document off because they need my TRN. No, that doesn't make any sense to me. And the reason I'm saying this is because you asked me for an ID. I'm just only sending off a piece of some documents overseas to be signed, and then I have to provide you with my TRN. Well, I didn't have it, so unfortunately, it was not sent. So that's something I don't understand. And then back to the ID thing again. You go to the justice of the peace, right? Let's go back to the justice of the peace. They ask you for your ID, but then your ID doesn't value nothing because they don't know you, right? No, that same ID that they ask you for, you have to go through the process, a lot of process, well, let me say another process. One, you have to take all your handprints. When I said not just one finger, the entire 10 fingers has to be printed. They have to take your fingerprints, they need your passport, your birth paper, and what does it take from me again? I think that was it, if I'm not mistaken. So they have everything that identify that is you, right? To get your ID. And that same ID that you receive cannot guarantee you that the JP will sign your document because they do not know you. So that is not making any sense. And based on what I heard, maybe some whole colonial colonial rules. So those are some of the stuff can be very frustrating. And I did hear the government talks about bureaucracy the other day, and I'm hoping that they make a lot of changes because it is actually slowing down a lot of process. Let's not talk about the banking. You go to the bank, um, you're not getting out for the next hour or two, which again is not making any sense. You make an appointment. For example, when I was going to the bank, I made an appointment, and my appointment was 11 o'clock. So I was hoping, well, at least I'll be out there like 11:30, 12 o'clock. That never happens. I still have to go to the bank and sit down and wait. I did not leave that bank until almost 3 o'clock. So I don't understand the reason why you ask me to set an appointment, but then when I come to the bank, I have to sit down and wait all these hours. So all these red tape and bureaucracy somehow slow down production, right? When you have thousands of people sitting at the bank for 2 or 3 hours, what is happening is that you are slowing down the production, you're slowing down the economy. And I don't understand how the government doesn't know that's something that they need to address. You cannot have the people sitting down that's supposed to be productive, producing to help the economy grow, and you have them sit down in the bank for hours not being attended to, right? So that's another issue that is somehow I hope they can fix and address that, take care of that matter. And I'm not complaining here. I'm just looking at the little stuff that can make us frustrated, especially for those of us who are coming from overseas and somehow used to a better system. And I guess you have to just adjust yourself to it. But I firmly believe that we need to speak up and to address these issues so these issues can be solved. Um, Wait, I have another story about the other banks, especially what you call it, Victoria Mutual and Jamaica National. Yeah, Jamaica JMB. Those two banks, oh, I had a bad experience with them, and especially Victoria Mutual, that I will actually talk about at another time. Oh, don't the door gonna close? Yeah, sorry, the door closed. Yeah, that they're gonna. I'll talk about another time, but not today, cause that's gonna take a whole video. Oh man, oh, I think I'll talk about one of yeah, mentally, adjusting mentally. Okay, I don't have much friends here. Um, so sometimes so it kind of affect me in a mental way because sometimes you feel like you're just by yourself and not a lot of people to talk to beside your family members. So you have to somehow try to figure how to adjust, um, how to not to think too much about those things because honestly it will somehow get in your head and put you into that mindset of feel alone and disconnected. So those are some of the stuff that when it comes to dealing with me coming back and not have too many don't have much friends here. Let me see what else I talk about. Yeah. So I think that's it. For now. Oh, so I think I mentioned that I did came with the idea to start a business. Thank God I was able to um, register a company, even though we're still in the process, and we are still working on those things. So that's for me is a big step that I was able to do that, and I'm grateful that that was done. I'm trying to see what I have here. This is something. Yeah, guys. So listen, man. Jamaica have its ups and its ups and downs. The good, the bad, and the indifference. But to be honest, I am very, very happy that I did come back home. I'm enjoying every moment of it despite the setbacks, despite the fact that I feel like I'm a stranger in my own land. As again I said before, I don't really know no one here per se. Very few people, but everybody's busy and doing their own thing. They're busy with work, busy with school, I guess busy with church. So everybody's busy. So finding someone to connect with here where you could hang out with and all of that stuff is not one of the things. So it's something where you feel like you see. Honestly, I feel like I'm still in New York because when I was in New York, you have all these people around you, millions of people, but you still feel like you're by yourself. So in that sense, I feel like I'm in New York where that is concerned. Like you have everybody that you might have few person can pick your phone and call, people you could talk to, family member, but you still feel like you by yourself. But I think that eventually will solve as soon as I find a church home that I could connect to and fellowship with and share with, and things will get better, So that's it for now, fellas. I will come back another time and then have another conversation about some other experiences that I have because I have quite a few. Some of them might, as I said before, will take discussion by themselves. But I'm just giving an overall view of, you know, why since I came back here for the few months, because I came in November, and now we're in February, yeah, February 19, February 9. So I'm still learning to adapt, honestly. I'm still trying to adapt to Jamaica. I'm still trying to adapt, man. I'm still trying to adapt, but it's what it is, and you know, I'm hoping, I'm praying that things will get better, um, that the system will improve, so we could be more efficient, more effective, and that we could move forward, and that we don't have all these red tapes that is required to open a bank account or to send off a piece of document. Um, you know, they ask a lot, man. They ask a whole lot of stuff, and I'm not comparing here to United States, because the United States is a whole different banking system that maybe just need maybe about 2 pieces or 3 pieces of document from him, your ID, your social, or your TR, not your TR, and your tax ID number, and I think that's it, and your proof of address. Um, no one asks you for source of income, but in Jamaica they do. You have to have a source of income, else you're not gonna get at a place a bank account open. Um, I think I heard a gentleman was talking the other day. He's a farmer, so no one pays him. He just sells and makes his money. But because he doesn't have that paperwork to say, yes, that's how he makes his money, make his earning, he was unable to open a bank account. And I thought that doesn't make any sense. Here's this young man who's working very, very hard, and then he went to get a bank account open, and because he doesn't have everything written down on a piece of paper, he was unable to open his bank account when he's a hard working farmer, but was unable to open a bank account. So guys, those things can be frustrating, and as I said before, I hope those things eventually change. Again, guys, thanks for watching, and please continue to watch my videos, continue to share, continue to leave a comment, and please subscribe. I need, guys. Please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe. If you see this video, even if you don't watch it to the end, please subscribe. I need your support. I need to grow my channel to at least 1,000 people. I don't have not even half of that. All I have is 73 people. So guys, please subscribe us. And I ask your friends and family to subscribe as well and help me grow this channel, so I'll be able to bring you more content. One, for me to get content, I might have to travel across the globe, across the country, to get as much content as I want to get, but that takes effort, and going to take a lot of money, whatever, to go across. So because of that, I'm not really traveling as much as I should to pick up content. But again, guys, thank you again for watching, and I hope very soon. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next video. Have a blessed one. All right, peace.